You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
Art 101 with Mr. Burgher.
Hello again, friends, and welcome back to another one. Art 101 with me, Mr. Burgher, a professional artist and educator attempting to bring you the best in art historical content.
I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, lots of luck, gentlemen.
Of course, I have to thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, comments that you may give this video or others.
Eat me!
When we start talking about art, one of the basics, one of the first things that you'd start looking at is color. And when you start looking at color, it's very, very simple, yet it gets very, very complicated. And so what I want to do is give you a little bit of a 101 in color. Very simple, very basic. These colors and others are represented on a color wheel. This was a 20th century concept that was first developed in the 17th century by Isaac Newton. After discovering the spectrum, he found that both ends could be combined into the hue red-violet, making the color wheel concept possible. Numerous color systems have followed since that time, each with its own basic use, but the color wheel is generally divided into three parts. The primary colors, which are hues that cannot be produced by intermixing any other hues. Secondary colors, orange, green, and purple. The mixture of two primary colors produce a secondary color. These secondaries are placed on the color wheel between their two specific primary colors that create them. And intermediate hues, red-orange, yellow-green, blue-violet, and red-violet. Each intermediate is located between the primary and secondary of which it is composed. And you'll notice that the primary is always named first.
I know what they look like, all right.
Color groupings can provide distinct color harmonies that are also known as color schemes. Let's look at a few. First, monochromatic is based on variations of value and intensity of a single color, or hue. There are times that I've created works using this idea, but a fantastic example is Pablo Picasso.
Hey, just call me Picasso.
I believe you mean Picasso, Albert.
Many people feel that he used blue as a representation of his feelings and has become known as his blue period. A prime example of that is The Old Guitarist. Analogous color schemes are used on colors adjacent to one another on the color wheel, each containing the same pure hue, such as the color scheme yellow, green, and blue. Tints and shades of each analogous hue may be used in the work to add variations to each color scheme. The last color scheme we're going to look at is complementary. This color scheme emphasizes hues that are directly opposite on the color wheel, such as red and green. When precisely mixing these pigments together in equal amounts, they would create neutral gray. But when placed side by side in pure hues, they contrast strongly and intensify one another. The red and green vibrate off one another. Now, these examples provide only a basic foundation for color theory. In fact, most artists work intuitively with their color harmonies and are much more complex than the schemes that we're describing here.
Bingo! How fun!
As with many aspects of art and art history, of course, the further you go, the more complicated it can become. But I think that's a pretty good ground level introduction to color. Thanks for watching.
Hi, what a day.